Let's talk about something that's on a lot of our minds, especially as we get a little older. Can we actually do something to naturally support the health of our arteries? Well, today we're going to dive into some really fascinating stuff that suggests our food might be way more powerful than we ever thought.
I mean, it's a totally valid concern, right? You try to do all the right things, stay active, eat well, but there's always that little question in the back of your mind. What's really going on inside? Especially when it comes to our heart. It's a feeling a lot of us share, for sure. And there's a very real reason for that worry. Heart disease is still the #1 cause of death around the entire world. And that's not just some abstract statistic. It's a sobering reality that shows exactly why taking our arterial health seriously is so important. Okay, so let's get right into the heart of the matter. The main villain in this story, for so many people, is something called arterial plaque. Just think of it like gunk building up in the pipes of your house. It's a mix of fat, cholesterol, and other stuff that sticks to your artery walls, making them narrower and harder, which can really restrict blood flow. And that, of course, is a huge risk factor for some very serious problems.
Now, we've all heard about the standard ways to deal with this. But what if that's not the full picture? What if the conventional path isn't the only option we have for keeping our arteries healthy? That's the exact question we're going to dig into today.
When you talk about high cholesterol and plaque, the conversation almost always turns to medication, right? And the big one is statins. They're incredibly common, they're powerful, and millions of people are prescribed them. But let's take a closer look at what they really do, and maybe what they don't.
And here is where it gets super interesting. On the one hand, statins are absolute rock stars at lowering your bad cholesterol, your LDL. I mean, they can slash it by a whopping 60%. But when it comes to actually shrinking the plaque that's already there, the effect is, well, it's tiny. We're talking about a reduction so small you can barely even measure it.
This quote from the research just nails it. It's the perfect analogy. Taking statins is like putting your car in neutral. You've stopped it from rolling forward and making things worse, which is great, but you're not actually backing up. You're not reversing the problem.
And let's be honest, that's the real dream, isn't it? We don't just want to hit pause on the problem. We want to rewind. We want to clean things out. So how in the world do we get that car out of neutral and actually throw it into reverse? Well, the answers might be hiding in plain sight.
And this leads us to our first potential game changer, and it's probably not what you'd expect. It's pomegranate. Yep, that ancient fruit with all the seeds. Specifically, we're talking about its juice, which has been shown to have some pretty incredible effects.
And get this, we are not talking about drinking gallons of the stuff. The studies looked at just 50 milliliters a day. That's about the size of a shot glass. It's such a small, easy thing to do, but when people did it consistently for a year, the impact was anything but small. So, what was the big result? In one key study, that tiny daily habit led to a reduction in the thickness of the artery walls by as much as 30%. Let that sink in for a second. A 30% reduction. That's a universe away from the tiny fractions of a millimeter we were just talking about. So, how does it do it? What's the magic here? Well, it's a brilliant 1-2 punch. First, it stops the bad LDL cholesterol from oxidizing, which is the step that makes it sticky and dangerous by an incredible 90%. And second, it doesn't just raise your good HDL cholesterol. It's like it gives it a superhero cape, making it way more effective at its job of hauling cholesterol out of your arteries. All right, so pomegranate is amazing, but there's another major player we have to talk about, nattokinase. Now, this might be a new one for you, but it is an absolute powerhouse enzyme that's shown some unbelievable results in studies.
So what on earth is it? Nattokinase comes from a traditional Japanese food called natto, which is made from fermented soybeans. Now, since you'd have to eat a ton of natto to get the real benefits, most people just take it as a simple supplement.
And the results from taking it are just as mind-blowing as the pomegranate juice. A big study found that over a year, it could reduce plaque size by up to 36%. Again, these are massive, life-changing numbers we're talking about. Now, to really get how nattokinase works, we need to know about one thing, fibrin. The easiest way to think about fibrin is to imagine it's the sticky, web-like scaffolding that plaque uses to build itself up on your artery walls. It's the framework that holds the whole dangerous structure together.
So what nattokinase does is pretty genius. It comes in and acts like a demolition crew for that fibrin scaffolding. It literally dissolves the web holding the plaque together. And when the foundation collapses, the whole plaque structure starts to break down, making it much easier for your body to clear it all away.
Okay, the science is incredible. The numbers are amazing. But what does this look like for a real person? in the real world. This is where the story gets truly powerful.
So picture this. Somebody gets a scan and finds out they have a 20 to 25% plaque buildup in their carotid arteries, a really critical area. They decide to go all in. They start drinking the small amount of pomegranate juice every day, they take the nattokinase supplement, and they make some key lifestyle changes to give their body the best possible chance to heal.
So what happened? The result is just stunning. This quote says it all. That 20 to 25% plaque was gone. Not smaller, not reduced, completely gone. And get this, it happened in just 3 months. That is absolutely incredible.
What this story really proves is the power of synergy. It wasn't about one magic bullet. It was about combining these potent natural tools with the right lifestyle choices. It shows us that we can have a powerful role in writing our own health story. And that kind of leaves us with one big, thought-provoking question. We're so often taught to look to a pharmacy for all the answers. But maybe, just maybe, some of the most powerful keys to our health have been waiting for us in our own kitchens all along.